Hello and welcome to another Quick Crop video. Today we're talking about one of my favourite subjects, which is garden tools. Now, choosing the right tool for the job makes a huge difference to the amount of time it takes to do a job and ultimately your enjoyment of it. So do yourself a favour and get the best quality that you can, and you won't find much better than the Chillington range of tools. All Chillington tool heads are made from hot forged high carbon steel, which is slightly flexible so it won't become brittle over time. They all come with handles too, but I just have the heads here to quickly bring you through the range. We have the double-headed hoe. Now, this is a hand tool for cultivating small areas and removing deep-rooted weeds from your beds. It's the perfect tool for raised bed gardening. We also have the fork hoe, easily my favourite of the range with many uses, but particularly good for clearing weeds and breaking open ground. The ridging hoe is a more specialised tool for making and maintaining potato ridges, the baby hoe designed for breaking up and clearing ground, and the heavy duty, which is the brute of the range for digging and clearing, particularly good for chopping through tree roots and other stubborn obstacles. It's important to fix the heads of these hoes firmly to the shaft just to stop them slipping down when in use. The blade simply fits over the thin end of the handle and slides down to the thick end, which is wider and stops the head from falling off. Hammer the metal down onto the handle like this to achieve a tight fit. The best method is to rotate the head, giving numerous smaller taps to force it evenly onto the handle. The secret to the success of these tools is the fact that the cutting head is at right angles to the shaft, and that means you use the levering action of the handle rather than your back, which makes life a whole lot easier for you. You can see the double-headed hoe is a smaller type of tool and is more suited to smaller jobs like weeding and cultivating loose soil. I find them perfect for weeding raised beds and breaking up the surface of the soil in the spring. As I said, the fork hoe is my favourite and one I use all the time. I use it for clearing deep-rooted weeds in the soil or on paths, or for clearing new ground. You can see how I dig the tines in and use the levering action of the tool to break open the ground. Stubborn sods or clumps of weeds can be knocked about a bit to remove the soil, so you're only disposing of the weeds. The ridging hoe has a number of uses, but it's specifically designed for making and maintaining potato drills. Now, my potato beds in the background are all covered in seaweed because we're too early to plant, but I'm going to show you the principle in one of my raised beds. The pointed shaped blade makes a perfect V-shaped trench for your spuds when planting, but it's also just the right shape for dragging soil up around the plants when earthing them up later on. The baby hoe has a similar function to the fork hoe, but because it has a blade rather than tines, it's better for opening more solid ground. The blade also has a chopping action, so it can cut through roots or other stubborn obstacles. The baby hoe is also small enough that it can be used for weeding around plants and keeping the top layer of soil open to help aerate the soil. And finally, the heavy duty hoe, which is the JCB of the Chillington range and is used where brute force is required. This is the one to use if you're transforming an overgrown area into a new vegetable garden. The heavy blade is easily buried in the ground, where the levering action again easily lifts sods no matter how compacted the ground. Use the heavy duty hoe for digging, chopping and pulling stubborn material, and you'll be surprised how quickly you'll be sitting in your kitchen with a well-earned cup of tea. These are proper no-nonsense tools. They're simple and strong and work incredibly well for the jobs that they're designed to do. As I said, they come with handles, but if you do manage to break one, replacements are available on our websites quickcrop.ie and quickcrop.co.uk.